Hello everybody and welcome to this tournament video for the playthrough for Master Division for the upcoming tournament. This video is with variable wins and I will go through all the holes that we are going to play. If you do want to follow along in a better way, you follow the info box on the right hand side for club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, but also what ball and club I suggest you to play with. Have in mind, you don't have to follow that if you don't want to, but I always have a plan with my suggestions. Now, let's enjoy the video and go to hole number 1. On the layup here on hole number 4, option number 1. Start with the QB and P2 ball at max rest. If you do not want to start with a P2 win 5 ball, you can start with a katana. That allows you to set the spins as well in a smooth way. Max top spin with a QB, which is 5 bars and 3 left spin. Swap to a POC and B52 level 7 plus or Grizzly 9 bag. Adjust max plus 20 P0. Once we have done that, we're gonna go 0.8 ball of left curl with just before circle drop overpower. Pay attention to your drive distance, as that's the only thing we're gonna use on the approach. If you do want to play with a power 0 or a power 1 ball, you can swap to that ball after you have swapped to your APOC bag. And the reason a power 0 ball is possible is because once again we're playing based on drive distance, we're not playing based off any check. Rolls down nicely. Drive has been very consistent to around 375 to 380 yards. On the second shot, we are going to do top of our white ring where the fringe meets the fairway. Now looking at the tip of the ball guideline to be in between the bright and the dark green square row. From that point, we are applying a light 3 backspin together with whatever left spin that gets the ball guideline to go through the left side of the cup. Adjust is going to be custom based. In the low winds and the mid winds, we do 1-to-1 plus 1.5. In the high winds, we do 1-to-1 plus 1.6. Center ball, so we have no overpower or underpower here. The intention with this type of play is to catch the funnel that comes into play when you roll past the pin and then roll back. So here we do roll into the funnel and we do drop it nicely dead center for the eagle. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy via the link in the description down below. On hole number 4, we are going to start with any power 0 plus, side spin 1 plus, win 5 ball. We're looking to add a light 1 top spin together with 0.4 left spin. Now we're looking at the top of the red ring to just slightly overlap the brown leaves that you see there in the grass. And then we have the right side of the yellow ring to be where the rough meets the fairway. Ball guideline will then be through the hole. If you're not through the hole, that means you have either too little or too much side spin. Adjust is going to be custom based, which 8 miles per hour is 7.3 rings. So basically the adjustment is max minus 5% elevation P5 numbers, and then I'm adding then I'm reducing a 0.1 in the higher winds to get the table. Ball hits the rough, comes in lovely into the funnel, dropping dead center for the hole-in-one. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for the best guides on the market. On option 2 here in hole number 9, we're gonna lay up, and this is for those that do not want to blast it or want to or do not have the ball to blast it. Adjust max plus 20 P0, that is from P3 NMT, all the top spin to a right spin, and then I'm pulling back half a ring in the high winds, 0.3 rings in the mid wind, and nothing in the low wind, so that is for a POC 8. Perfect ball it is, and we can see that the ball bounces on the fairway up onto the hill here, and we are then rolling down nicely to around 435 yards. On the second shot, we're gonna play with our Saturn. Not often we do that. I'm gonna do a check where the fringe meets the green. +3 and +4 is gonna be played the same. Top of the yellow rain to be where the fringe meets the fairway. Now we're looking at the third bounce to be aligned with the right side of the cup. Adjustment is gonna be 94% slider plus 5% elevation, P3 numbers, and that is from +3 and +4. Always pull over the bullseye, and then we're gonna center the ball and hit perfect. Add necessary wind angle tweaks, and you can see that the perfect ball here goes past the pin and roll down into the hole. So this is the layup option. For those of you that do have the guide, you do have a blast option as well. So make sure to sign up at patreon.com/golfclashtommy via scanning the QR code or the link that is in the description down below. On the drive here on hole number 1, we are going to start with the rock at max P2 rest, blue ring by the rough line, swapping to a poke and sniper bag, 6 topspin and 2 left spin. Here we are using a lower amount of topspin to allow us to have a consistent drive without glitch rolls. Adjust max +20 P0, which is 1-to-1 with a poke 8. Once we have done that, we're going to go with 0.8 ball of left curl with circle drop overpower. Perfect ball here will go to around 375 yards, which is exactly what we are looking for. And you can see that we are relying on the dead bounces, hitting those small mounds on the fairway, and then that is perfect. So 378, a little bit longer maybe, but 375 around that mark is perfect. On the second shot, we are going to do a bottom yellow ring fringe check where the fringe meets the green in line with pin. 3 left spin and 4.8 top spin. And we're looking now to have the top of the yellow ring to be by the rough line, ball guideline to fall just left of the cup. The reason we're doing a rough bump here instead of doing a normal bounce up is due to the fairway and the green being extremely glitchy, especially here in tailwind. In this angle, we are going to do no tweak whatsoever, and we're pulling from the clear ring. Adjustment from +3 and +4 is 0% sliders, so the min number, -5% elevation, P0 ball settings. A perfect ball, no overpower, no underpower. We clip the rough, roll up onto the green, dropping this one dead center for the eagle here on hole number 1. Get our guide for the new season on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Take your game to the next level with our ultimate tournament text guide for the Daredevil Showdown 18-hole cup. We are doing a premium guide for Master Division for the mix of the Eagle Peak and the Waterfield signs. Free to play alternatives and payball alternatives to give you the best possible chance in the tournament. If you're looking for other content such as Quick9, then we do have our platform patreon.com/GCT Quick9, where you for a small fee can get access to our premium guides. Both links in the description down below. Now let's get back to the video. On hole number 2, we are going to set the landing position before spin. We're gonna use the yellow ring to box it in by the edge of the rough and bunker. Once we have found the spot, look to what I do with the top spin. I'm moving until the ball guideline shows to be up on the fringe, and then move back a click. So it's just by the fringe with where the ball guideline turns around towards the hole. That's my only focus point with the top spin together with the 3 left spin. And here we are going to do very little wind angle tweaks. We are just 1-to-1+1, center the ball to hit perfect. The idea with this shot is to hit the rough, roll up the green into the massive funnel, and roll back towards the hole. Single grades on either side still has a chance to go in, even though I wouldn't count on it, but it's still a chance. Get our guide on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. New season and everything, we do offer guides for tour play and tournament play for every player. On the drive here on hole number 3, we are going to set our APOC at max P5 rest, blue ring by the rough line for APOC 8, and this is a play for APOC 7 and APOC 8. Adjust max minus 5% elevation, P4 numbers, using all the top spin and 2 left spin. And once we have adjusted, we're going to go full curl to the left with just before circle drop overpower. We'll be having a different wind angle as well, which is more crosswind, where we will be going with circle drop overpower instead. Bouncing on the fairway nicely, then on the fairway into the rough to roll out on the last fairway. If you do hit a bad grade left, expect yourself to be stuck in the rough. You still have a nice wind where you can get yourself close to the green and still save the eagle. On the second shot, what we're gonna do is to stretch out to max, looking to have the ball guideline left of the most right sign. And there we're also looking at how much of the yellow ring is outside the rough. In this case, the whole yellow ring was outside the rough, and in that instance means that we're not gonna push up anything. If, let's say, half of the yellow ring would be covered by the rough, then we would push up half a ring after the adjustment. That is just a technique to ensure that we're not going to clip the rough when with our second bounce. 0.8 top spin, 2 left spin. I'm using all the curl to the left and max overpower with a slower needle, and you can see here that we needed just a little bit more top spin to get that ball in the hole. This is a shot that I'm counting with to be for a safe eagle with an outside chance of an albatross. If you feel uncomfortable with this type of push play for albatross, then reduce the curl slightly. You leave yourself more room, but then you will have to be prepared for a shorter wedge instead. So this is a tough par 5. An eagle is definitely something we should be considered okay, and move on to hole 4. Get our guide on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Hole number 4, if you do have the masquerade ball, start with that one to set the spins immediately. 1.5 backspin, 2.5 left spin, which is max with side spin 5. P7 min line, and ball guideline will then go just right of the hole. I don't care about the ball guideline, but I do care about the min line, where I do have the bullseye just into the rough line. If you do not want to swap any ball, you can just continue with the masquerade ball all the way through and go with that one. Here in this wind angle, we should do 1 click of right curl. We hit perfect. We land into the rough, rolls up onto the green, and we are dropping dead center for the hole in one. Adjust its custom for 7.2 to 7.8, 1 to 1 minus 0.4, and 7.9 to 8.6, 1 to 1 minus 0.3. Hole number 5, we are using Apocalypse level 6 plus. We are starting with the white ring to the right by the rough line. Here we are setting a light 7 top spin and 1 right spin. Adjust is going to be max plus 20 P0. Yes, you guessed it correct. We are doing the first ring here now, and then I'm doing the rest of the 10. There we go. Then we're gonna go max overpower with a completely slow needle, with the grid line going down the tip, like the top tip of the triangle. A perfect ball, and it then bounces on the fairway, and then it takes that little jump all the way down, being by the green, And from here, we do have a nice little wedge. So for this wedge here, it's going to be around 50%, like maybe even less, as you can see here now. But what I do recommend here, though, if you look at the ball guideline, it's much more firm with a nose spin compared to if you go in max topspin. If you look at the ball guideline with max topspin, look here. So even if the max topspin will work, and you can see it here now that it will work, I do feel that the best way to go about it here is to go no spin for consistency. Just gonna adjust this one here as well. Very few rings, obviously, with a max topspin. And then we center. And we're golden. And you can see the max topspin works, but it's a very awkward ball guideline, so no spin it should definitely be a little bit easier to handle. On the drive here on hole number 7, we P2 NMT, all the topspin, one right spin, and then we're swapping to any P3 plus, side spin 1 plus, win 5 ball. Using a P5 ball is going to give your needle completely slow always. P4 ball is going to be a tiny shake on that, and a P3 ball is going to be very shaky. Perfect ball it is. And the intention here now is to get this ball somewhere between 424 and 432 yards. On the second shot, what we are going to do is that we are going to move up, have the red ring, top of the red ring, where the rough meets the fairway, tip of the ball guideline to point to the corner between the bright and the dark green square row. From there we apply spins to get the ball guideline 1 green square through the hole, and then we're going to make an adjustment. Adjustment is going to be 38% slider, minus 10% elevation, P3 numbers, and that is from +1 and +2. So here we're adding an extra 0.1. You can see the bushes in the distance. That's what we're looking for as our reference. And in this angle, we're not going to do any tweaks here. So we move up, and then we are going to go with the circle break on the power. Perfect ball it is. And it clips the rough, rolls down the green, and dropping dead center for the albatross. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for the best guides on the market. Thank you everybody for watching this playthrough video for Master Division for the upcoming tournament. If you did enjoy the content here, make sure to smash the thumbs up on your way out. Now, last but not least, a massive good luck in the upcoming tournament.